All right. So, welcome to Lunch Bunch on this December 18th, and we're going over chapter 18 on the 18th. How fitting. And we're not going to have Lunch Bunch the next two Thursdays because we have
Mm-hmm.
Christmas Day and then then New Year's Day, 2 weeks in a row. So, are you ready for your Christmas holiday, Marilyn?
No. No, but I think I'm going to do an abbreviated Christmas preparation.
Are you going anywhere for the day?
No, no, I'm going to be home. I'll be on the phone with family and stuff, but my friend Beverly and I are going to go over to over to Valdosta to the seafood place, I can't think of the name
The
of it.
red snapper?
No, it's Red Lobster.
Oh, Red Lobster. That makes sense.
Yeah,
I love Red
yeah.
Lobster biscuits.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Well, that's nice. You're doing that on Christmas Day?
Uh-huh.
Very good.
It's one of the few places open, and we went there last year, and it was very nice.
Yeah. Our kids and Tom and I, we have a tradition of going to Hibachi. And it's actually a really popular place for Christmas Day. There's
I
a lot of
imagine
people that
so.
go. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we go to Hibachi, we open gifts at the house and go to Hibachi, and then we would go to a movie. Like Christmas Day is a big day to go to the movies.
Mm-hmm.
Although last year we kind of cut that tradition because I was not going into any buildings last Christmas. So we
I
didn't go
understand.
out for hibachi. We had dinner at the house and then we went to Lake Eola in Orlando and we looked at all the lights that they had. We were looking for outside activities to do and we really enjoyed that. So we're hoping we're going to go back to hibachi because now I'm going back in buildings and we're going to have the hibachi, but I'm going to see if the boys want to do the lights versus the movie. Although there's a movie coming out on Christmas Day about Neil Diamond, about a Neil Diamond impersonator. And
Oh
Hugh
my.
Jackman plays and this is a true story. Hold on a second. I really want to see this movie. Okay, let's see what it's called. Song Sung Blue is a Neil Diamond's Christmas movie, a new film released Christmas Day 2025, starring Hugh Jackman and Kate Hudson. And it's a true story. A real life tribute band duo, Lightning and Thunder, celebrated Diamond's music and inspiring love story. And it's based on a true story of a Milwaukee performers, Mike and Claire Sardinia, and features their journey finding dreams and love through Neil Diamond's iconic songs.
It sounds like a good movie.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah. Tom and I went when we were in New York a couple of years ago. We went to Broadway and saw Neil Diamond's story of his life through his songs. And, he can't perform anymore. He has Parkinson's.
Mm.
And it was so beautiful. And, he made a lot of mistakes and he has a lot of regrets through his life of relationships and things like that. But he has a, beautiful story. And so I'm really excited to see this movie. So, whether we see it on Christmas Day or the day after Christmas, we're going to be seeing that movie.
Yep,
All right. Did you read chapter 18?
I did.
Are you ready to fall in love?
No.
Well, you know what? You can look at this because I was listening to it as some other things, like number one, being so grateful I'm not in the dating scene anymore. And I kissed a
Mm.
lot of frogs, let me tell you.
Oh yeah.
I really related to a lot of the women she described or men that she described in this chapter, right? So chapter 18 is let them show you who they are. And I can associate this to past dating, and I can associate this with current relationships in Mary Kay with consultants.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so you can date your Mary Kay business, or you can be committed and marry your Mary Kay business, right? I've heard that analogy many times. So as we're going through this, I really want you to see it through a team leader's eyes, as well as if you're searching for love or just true relationship with friends and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And on the grade 8 call this morning, I was literally saying, and this was before I listened to the chapter again, that I listen to people's actions more than their words because
Yeah.
people know how to say the right thing, but if their actions don't back it up, that's what I'm really listening to is how they act. Yeah. So before I get into the cliff notes of chapter 18, what were your thoughts on it?
Um, I too was looking at it from past relationships, and I could see where I went wrong.
Well, man,
And
if I knew that then, right?
yeah, yeah. It's a good book for. And the other thing it was contrasting is she made it very clear about getting out of relationships too. And I was thinking that that part didn't exactly coincide with the biblical interpretation of how that plays out, at least in my denomination. So because they would say stick with it no matter what, you know.
Hmm.
But but I thought this business I've got so much underlined that I can't hardly begin. But about chasing the wrong ones, I thought that part was especially good. Chasing the wrong ones, and
Yeah, when she said, if somebody's texting you for days and the minute you suggest getting together and they dance around it and they're too busy, they're showing you how they think about you. They don't
hmm
care.
hmm well, I've actually fixed dinner for a person that didn't show up. That gave me a real clue.
Yeah, right? Loud and
Uh,
clear, right?
yeah, and I actually did what they were talking about. I did the computer dating scene,
Oh, I did
and
that for a long time. Yeah.
oh my. I remember going with out with this one, meeting him at this pub or something, and he was the rudest man. He was a professor at the local university there,
Hmm.
and he was so rude that I thought to my it took me a while to before I even accepted another date through the service because they're supposed to match you, you know.
Right, right.
Yeah, what a joke that is. But
Well, it's based off what these people are saying, and what they say and how they act are two totally different things.
hmm I
And
mean,
even their pictures, how they look in their pictures and how they look in real life, totally different things. Like, who are you? You are not the man in the picture.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I remember that guy. It was something about, well, well, what kind of beer do you like, or something, and that didn't match. So it's like he says, well, we've we hardly have anything in common, and he got up and left.
Wow. Because you didn't like the same beer. Did you a favor.
Yeah, yeah, that was. I didn't waste so much on him. One guy, I did, and went out with maybe 3 times. He kept trying. My son was with me, and we had gone deliberately out on like a park thing so that Chris could go along with us. And he kept trying to lose him, you know. And, and that was a real eye opener too.
Yeah.
You don't want well, if you have a young person,
I once dated this guy who was a mutual friend in a group. So he wasn't somebody off the internet. And we were both single for so long and dating so many ridiculous people. We're like, why aren't we dating each other? So we started dating and I thought it was getting serious. And we were out one night and someone's kid, now he didn't see my son because like when we went on dates, my son was with his dad,
uh-huh.
so I didn't bring my son along on many dates. Although he knew my son, I mean, he had known my son for years because he is in our friend group.
Right,
And I wasn't afraid for him to be around my son. But anyway, I digress. We're at this thing and there's some kids that are acting up and he makes the comment and goes, "That's why I don't want kids." And I
oh.
went, "I have a kid." "Well, that's your kid." I go, "If you're going to be with me, my kid's your kid. We're a package deal. Like I'm not getting rid of my kid." And that was the end of that relationship. And I'm glad he said it because I wouldn't have wanted to get farther along to have that be something that broke us up down the road, or my son getting attached to him as someone I'm with and then having to end it. I was always real cautious about that. So
Right.
so yeah. Like, dude, like as soon as he said it, I'm like, "What?" Like we broke up that night. I'm like, "I'm sorry, this is not going to work." He thought I was kidding. I'm like, "I'm not kidding. My son is a package deal and you're getting me without my son. So you haven't even experienced that you're seeing at this party that's annoying you is my life too. So when you say that about that kid, you're saying that about my kid."
Yeah,
Yeah.
very true. Very
Oh
true.
my goodness. So when Tom and so I had been dating online before it was cool, right? Before it was the norm. I was one of the originals and I would be real cautious. I'd have to talk to somebody for the longest time before I would agree to meet him in person and it would always be somewhere public and I'd always have to let somebody know as much detail as I had about this person. And so when Tom and I met, I had already been single for over 14 years and had dated a lot of ridiculous people. And so my trust level was really low. My wall was really high. And I had a list of non-negotiables, like you had to have all your teeth, or at least fake teeth that looked appropriate, right? Like I'm
Exactly.
not having big gaps in the mouth.
Mm-mm.
And so when I was dating online and they'd send me a picture like this, they'd look really great until they opened their mouth and I went, "Whoa, you have like two teeth." And my mom had fake teeth and she had problems with her teeth and so I am compassionate to that, but have them look, take care of yourself enough to have them look appropriate. So, not that you have to have the whitest teeth. I don't have the whitest teeth. I don't have the perfect teeth, but I take care of myself. I go to the dentist every 6 months, at least once a year, go to the dentist. So,
Right.
anyway, when Tom and I were introduced, we didn't meet online, but we were introduced through a mutual friend and we're texting. And so we're sharing pictures with ourselves. And he shares this picture like this. And I'm like, "I got to see your teeth." And he thought I was kidding. And I'm like, "No, I need to see that you have all your teeth. Can you please send me a picture where you're like, look at my teeth. See, you could see my teeth." So he sends this picture like that. It's like just his mouth with all his teeth and that kind of thing. But I'm like, "Yeah, I can't like go off a picture with your mouth shut."
And it's a shame too, because there's some really nice people, but I share your belief in that because I can't stand somebody with this one tooth hanging out there, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah,
No.
yeah. And or lying, even the littlest white lie made me think you're a liar because I was lied to
Mm.
so many times from so many different people. And so poor Tom. I mean, he could not, if he said he was going to the store and he was going to pick up milk and he came home without milk, he was a liar, right? So he never, and he's so honest. I mean, to this day, we've been together over 13 years. And so when we got engaged, he had told me that his friend got fired and he was at a bar having a drink. And I said, okay, so are you wanting me to go there? Because he was supposed to meet me somewhere else. And he was trying to lure me over here so that he could propose. And he had this flash mob proposal planned, right? So I finally get there and the flash mob breaks out and we get engaged. And I said, wait a second, you lied to me. Like on the day of, you told me your friend got fired and you were having a drink with him. He said, no, I told you my friend was fired, which he was yesterday. And then I told you I was having a drink. I didn't tell you I was having a drink with him.
Him.
He was very cautious to not lie in that luring of getting me over there, you know.
Very
So
good.
even up to the day he proposed, I'm like, oh, are you lying to me?
That's true. Very
Yeah.
true.
Even what, you know, I've gotten in car accidents with other people and that, never with Tom, but I'm still like, and he's like, have I ever crashed you into the car in front of us? Have I ever veered us off the road? You know, that kind of thing. All right. He's earned my trust for sure.
That sounds like it for sure.
I had to kiss a lot of frogs to get to him. In
Yeah,
fact, my dating profile was titled, I've kissed a lot of frogs, looking for my prince, right?
there you go.
So in chapter 18, Robbins applies her core principles to romantic relationships, focusing on how individuals choose whom and how they love. She argues that people's actions, not their words, truly reveal their feelings, and that intense desire for connection can often lead individuals to overlook red flags and compromise their standards in potential partners. Yeah, like, oh, okay, I'll let that slide. That was a special occasion where it's not going to happen again, and it's like keeps happening over and over and over. You keep okaying it, you know. So Robbins critiques modern dating culture, particularly how digital platforms have transformed romance into a competitive game, like getting the most likes and the most hearts and that kind of thing, often encouraging manipulation and playing hard to get. She advocates for authenticity in romantic relationships, stressing that meaningful connections are based on genuine interactions, not strategies. Robbins identifies signs that someone might be quote unquote chasing love rather than choosing it mindfully, such as dismissing problematic behavior or creating unrealistic narratives about the relationship potential. She was saying like not texting within a certain amount of time, like playing hard to get. Those are all games. Like if
Hmm.
you want to talk to the person, talk to the person, and if that's the person you're meant to be with, they'll talk back.
Right. And you have to be, if they tell you you can't call, I mean, I can understand if you're at work or something like that, but if they
Right.
tell you you can't call them in the evening at certain times or something,
Yeah.
you have to start to wonder whether that's legit or
Yeah. Yeah,
not.
exactly.
Are you in or out on another date, you know?
Or married, like you're
Or
home with your
married?
wife and kids. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
my goodness, so much deceit. The chapter provides a practical framework for evaluating romantic situations. Robbins suggests that individuals should approach their dating experiences as though they were advising a close friend. Like, what would you, if your friend were having this happen, what would you say to your friend, right?
It's a
Using
good
a,
price.
yeah, using a binary lens, either someone makes you a priority or they don't. And you know when you're a priority for someone, right? You know when your time is respected because if someone's not going to be there when you're expecting them to be there, they're going to let you know they're not going to be there.
Hmm.
So that's where I listen to actions versus the words, right? Um, she highlights that resistance to defining a relationship often indicates a lack of true commitment. Ultimately, Robbins concludes that finding fulfilling love requires the courage to stay authentic and the wisdom to recognize when a potential partner's actions show that they cannot or will not provide the commitment needed.
Being authentic, that part really got to me because my second husband was a baseball historian. And don't get me wrong, we didn't part ways really mean with each other, but but I felt like I had to keep changing myself into this baseball person that I really wasn't, you know.
Hmm.
And he and pretty soon I was doing his newsletter for his committee. Pretty, you know, I'm thinking I could be doing something that,
That you enjoy. Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. My husband's in our ham radio club. I have no interest in that. That's his joy and his thing. I don't pretend that
Mhm.
I'm into it. Some of it's cool, and I'm happy that he has something that's his own and that he can go be a part of that. And that brings me joy, but I'm not going
Yeah,
to the ham radio club meetings with him. I'm finding something else for me to do during that time.
exactly.
Just like he's not into all the things I'm into, you
Mm.
know, although he does go. He does go to a lot of Mary Kay things. That's for
Well,
sure.
that's good too.
That's because he's into me. Not because he's into Mary Kay, you know what I mean? But he does understand Mary Kay and respect the business and sees what I'm doing, He'll hear me asking somebody a question and he knows what active status means versus qualified and what the different positions are paid and that kind of thing. What are you doing? What does that mean? You're waving? He was doing this and I didn't know if he was trying to tell me something or so key insights and takeaways. Number one, actions speak louder than words. In relationships, people's behavior reveal their true feelings, not what they say. Pay attention to how partners act, not just how they speak. My son was saying this. His girlfriend, all of a sudden, everything he says, it's what she thinks. So he's not really 100% sure what she likes and doesn't like because everything she likes is what he likes.
Oh,
But before he came around, she didn't really know about this, but now this is her thing, And so, um, I mean, he likes that she likes things that he likes, but does she really like it? Like you with the baseball, right?
mm-hmm,
Does he
mm-hmm,
really know her? Or is she
right,
just pretending to be whatever he wants her to be?
uh-huh.
And that comes with authenticity for sure. Look at that cute puppy laying down in the background. She's so cute. She's such a distraction. Okay. Number two, chasing love versus choosing love. Overemphasizing the desire for connection can cause people to ignore red flags and settle for unhealthy relationships. Mindful love involves setting standards and evaluating potential partners based on their actions. Did you ever see the movie Bridesmaids?
No.
Oh, okay. Kristen Wiig in that movie, she's in a relationship with this guy, but they only like hook up at the end of a night. Like she's not out with him. They're out with separate groups, and then all of a sudden they end up together. And her girlfriend's trying to get her to realize this is not a relationship. This is not, you know. And she ends up finding someone in the movie, which is good. But I'm like, man, that was my story for so long when these guys just, I was chasing them down and just doing whatever to get their attention. And really how it needed to be was they needed to gain my attention.
Hmm.
When I started seeing that and respecting myself and having more self-confidence at a higher level, that changed everything.
Yes,
And
the
I think,
self-confidence piece. The
yeah,
self-confidence piece is so important.
yeah, that's the same with recruiting and customers. Like, I'm not going to beg you. I did. At one point, I begged people to buy my product. I begged people to join my team, and that's exhausting. That's not what this is about. The product is solid, the opportunity is solid, and if they don't want it, let them go and look for the person who really wants it because that's exciting.
Hmm.
I don't want to chase anybody.
Yeah, I was making some calls this morning for the bingo party this afternoon, and I couldn't get through, so I left messages and I made sure that I didn't, appear like I need you to come desperately.
Please.
Please come,
Please let me have a butt in the seat. Yeah, like, no, let them know they're missing out. This is exclusive.
And
There's only a few seats left, and if you want one, let me know. I
yeah.
always tell people, even if I have 500 seats, there's limited seats. Let me
Hmm.
know if you want me to hold one for you because I'd love to see you there,
Hmm.
you know. And I have been reaffirmed multiple times just in this last week that people appreciate that I'm not shoving Mary Kay down their throat. I have heard that from consultants and customers in this last week that they appreciate my approach with Mary Kay. And that came with experience. I wasn't always at that level of confidence in my company and in my product because I just didn't work it enough to see that I could be confident in it.
Hmm.
So I think that it's a standard to get to, but it's also, that's why I posted what I posted about this recent, oh, come into Mary Kay and you don't have to do anything. Like, what? No, that's not what Mary Kay's about. And it shocks me how many people have posted that statement. Like people I respect, top earners in Mary Kay have posted that statement. I'm like, what are you doing? They're just not thinking all the way through, you know?
Uh-uh.
Yeah.
Oh,
So number three, avoid manipulation in games. Modern dating often encourages playing games, but authenticity should be the foundation of any meaningful connection. Focusing on honesty rather than manipulation leads to deeper, more fulfilling relationships. Yep. In love, in business, in friendship, I'm a no nonsense kind of person. And you won't be in my inner circle of friends if you don't celebrate what I do. You don't have to buy it, you don't have to sell it, but you have to celebrate me. I go where I'm celebrated, not where I'm tolerated. And
right.
that took a minute to get to because I did beg people, you know. And in past dating scenarios, I look at myself, I see desperation in my dating because I wanted to be with somebody so bad.
I
But the
had
right person doesn't come in desperation.
I had a t-shirt when I was dating, and on the back of it it said, I, I'm available, but I'm not desperate.
That's awesome. That's right.
Uh,
That's right. You got to have standards, but you don't want to be so rigid that nobody can get in.
right.
I think there's a dance with that for sure. I think if you can find someone with 70% of your list, you're doing good.
Yeah,
Yeah. No one's going to be perfect. And Tom and I are polar opposites. That's
yeah.
kind of funny. Like I had kind of given up, like, oh God, I don't know that there's any good ones out there. And then here comes Tom.
They've all been taken.
Yeah, they've all been taken. Or it's just a facade. There are no perfect men out there. They're all playing games. They all know the act, right? And number four, clarity and commitment. Undefined relationships often signal a lack of commitment. If someone truly values you, they will prioritize clear communication and mutual goals. I think that's why it's so good when marriages start with, I think they call it like a pre-Cana, like they go through these conversations of hard things that happen in marriage to make sure. I've heard of marriages 10 years in realizing they don't want the same things. Well, don't you discuss those things before you get married? Right? You want to know that you are looking for yeah, there's connection and there's attraction and there you like some of the same things, but you might not be going in the same direction. Like you got to make sure, just because you're not meant for each other doesn't make either of you bad people.
Hmm.
I have exes that I'm still friends with. It just wasn't right for us to be a couple. I remember
Exactly.
once one of my high school exes was like, "Man, I should have stayed with you." I said, "No, you shouldn't. I would not be where I am today if I stayed with you. I'm where I am today because of the road I took, and the
Uh-huh.
experiences that I had. So I don't look back going, oh, shoulda, coulda, wouldas. That was God's plan all along."
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
dear. Oh, he's got like five kids from four different moms. No, no,
Oh no.
no thanks. No thanks. All right, so some practical applications and action plan. Number one, examine actions, not words. Number two, set clear standards. Number three, authenticity in dating. And number four, evaluate relationship commitments. So the objective is to establish a clear understanding of the behaviors and standards that are essential for meaningful romantic relationships, right? Make that list. Make that list. There's still love out there for you, Marilyn. You're never too old for love. I'll tell you that. I'll tell you that. And you're a great gal. Anybody would be lucky to have you in a relationship, that's for sure. I'm assuming you're not in a relationship. I don't believe I've ever
No,
heard you talk about that. Okay.
no.
And then having a goal, cultivate healthy, authentic connections by prioritizing actions over words, recognizing red flags early, and encouraging clear communication and commitment. So reflect on your past romantic relationships. Did you tend to overlook red flags or dismiss behaviors that didn't align with your standards? Make a list of your relationship deal breakers and non-negotiables. And what do you need from a partner to feel valued and respected? You start praying over this list, Marilyn, God's going to line somebody right up for you. I'm telling you. Number three, practice being authentic in your dating life. Avoid manipulating situations or falling into competitive dating games. There was actually the dating game. Remember that show?
Yes.
And number four, set boundaries around undefined relationships and insist on clear communication about mutual intentions and goals. So, by embracing authenticity and recognizing the signs of true commitment, you can navigate romantic relationships with clarity and confidence, ultimately finding love that aligns with your values and needs. I will say this, I am a good matchmaker. When I know somebody's looking, I set up a couple, a friend that I went to high school with and a guy that I worked with, and paired them up. And I actually had a crush on this guy first. And then I'm like, okay, if that's not going to happen, we are two totally different people. And so I set him up with her, and they've been married for many years, very happy still together. This had to be 20 years ago or more.
Wow.
Yeah, and they're still together. So I have a history. I have a good track record when it comes to that.
Uh,
So any last thoughts or more underlined things that you have in there? I don't have actual underlined statements, so I'd love to talk about the highlights that you have in your chapter.
well, I like this part. They don't like you wake up where it says, "Let me respect myself enough to admit that this is going nowhere." So many people are afraid to, that you get into this rut and you see, to me, I could see myself going nowhere in my relationships. And in fact, it was working against me. It was not only I was going nowhere, but it was working against me. And and that's when I had to cut it off. It
Mhm.
just and I think more people need to keep that in mind. Um
Yeah, I was noticing on Facebook, one of my I had a friend, and then I made a new friend, and I found out that the first friend married the second friend's son. I didn't know that they knew each other and their kid, they had gotten married. And I loved that. And so the couple has now broken up, and I see it through the woman, the first friend, right? And I see this happening on Facebook that she's selling her wedding ring. She went out and bought a new car. She's got a new boyfriend. And so I asked the mom of the ex-husband now, I said, "What's going on? When did they break up? I'm heartbroken." And she goes, "I am too. I've just loved her for 11 years and poured into her, and now she doesn't want anything to do with me, and she blocked me on Facebook." And um so I said, "Well, why did she leave?" And she said, "Well, actually, he asked for the divorce because number one, they have been trying for years to have a baby, and they're both overweight significantly. And so she was told she had to lose like 150 pounds in order to be able to have a child. And she was in some pretty good debt, like credit card debt. So he paid off her credit card debt and they moved in with the mom, my other friend. They moved in with her to save some money to buy a house. And he found out that she had gotten new credit cards and racked up like another 8,000 in credit cards. And so he realized she's not losing weight, she's not stopping spending, and he loves her with all his heart. But he just, enough's enough. I want children. I want a happy marriage. I want someone to respect me enough. I've already paid down your debt once. How many times am I going to pay down your debt before you stop secretly spending, right?
Yeah.
And and so, her and I were having that conversation earlier today. It's just we don't want to see anybody get divorced. We don't want to see anybody split up. And I love her too. This girl, like I love her, but she obviously has addiction problems. She has addictions to food, she has addictions to money. And she's got to hit her rock bottom before she's going to get help. But, paying it off, we've talked about this in previous chapters. That's not helping her at all. That's just getting her out of trouble. That's actually,
Mhm.
what's the
Enabling.
word? Enabling behavior.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. So, it's sad to see, but he took his power back and he said, "These are my expectations and this is my list." And I'm proud of him for doing that, even though I said, you know what, looking back on this years from now, it's going to be looked at as a blessing rather
Mhm.
than this hard part that he's going through right now because he's going to find someone perfect for him and he wouldn't have if he didn't take his life back at that moment.
Uh-huh.
But it's sad to
Excellent.
see. So sad to see.
Yeah. Yeah.
What else do you have highlighted?
Well, I was thinking about the application that you said to Mary Kay, and it challenged me. If I say I would like to be a red jacket and I'd like to make it to director, I have to be taking more definite steps in that direction.
Yeah.
More, I've only been in less than 3 months, but I need to um, balance. I need to get a plan in place where I can make incremental steps, you know.
Yeah, set some guidelines for yourself each day of what you're doing in your business, right? That's where the
Mhm.
six most important things list comes. And
Right,
so when you look at Red Jacket, and that's three people doing something in their business, okay? This is all
right,
mathematical.
right,
Let's say one out of five people that you talk to about the opportunity will say yes and join. Just to have three people join your team, that's 15 conversations about the opportunity to have them join, and then to get three people to do something. If a third of your team will do something, you really want nine people on your team in order to be in your red jacket.
right,
So
right.
when I'm going to look at my numbers right now for our unit. Okay.
Uh-huh.
And we have 115 people total in our unit. And we have, where's the unit? I want to see how many are active in the unit. 66 active in the unit. Is that active or non-terminated? No, that's non-terminated. 38 active in the unit
Ooh,
out of
ooh.
115 people. There are 38 active. And when you do the math, 115 times 33%, that's 34 people.
Mm-hmm.
34. So we're right on to a third, a little bit above a third
Mm-hmm.
of them doing something with their business, meaning earning the discount and having enough in, using the product. So that's why it's so important to bring them in, loving the product, loving Mary Kay, knowing who she is and why she did what she did. And their friends and their mom and their sisters are all using the product because then they're going to have a customer base to sell to.
Right. I wish I could get I have a sister in Michigan that just loves Mary Kay, but um, she's never, considered the opportunity to actually be in Mary Kay.
Has she heard about it?
Oh, yes. Yeah, she's heard about it, but I think I mean, I think she uses just about every product.
Well, that's awesome. Would she
Yeah.
have a party for you where you can
Well,
send
she has
samples?
since she's in Michigan, she has a Mary Kay, uh,
Consultant?
mhm.
Oh, so she doesn't even order through you. So she
No,
couldn't tell her Mary Kay consultant, my sister is now selling and I want to support her business. I know if
I
somebody
should,
came to me, you know, and we don't try to steal people away, but you're my
right.
family,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So I went to my husband, my uncle's wake, and my cousin, as I was walking by, said, "Do you still sell Mary Kay?" And I said, "I drive a pink Cadillac. Yes, I still sell Mary Kay." Like, I can't believe anybody in my family would question that I still
Yeah.
sell Mary Kay. And she said, "Oh, I met this lady and I'm scheduled for a facial with her on Tuesday." I go, "Well, you tell her your cousin is a director and a Mary Kay consultant, and you're going to have a facial with me on Tuesday." And when she told this lady who her cousin was, because she knows me, I didn't know this. I didn't know that I knew the lady. But she's like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe you would even schedule something with me if Christy's your cousin, you know?" So she's been a great customer of mine since. But yeah, I was like, no, I don't want my family buying from anybody else. I want them to support my business, you know. And so just say that. Would it be unheard
Yeah,
of for you to support my business and just let this lady know? And if I ever quit, just go back to her.
right.
But that
Right.
you're in it this time, like you're really excited and growing and would love to practice on her and service her. And I do give my family a 20% discount. I don't ever give them my full discount, but there is a family
Mhm.
discount that I offer. So I say you could take advantage of if I have a special going on, whichever one gives you more, either the 20% or this one. I'm going to give you whichever one saves you the most.
Good idea.
Yeah. But ask her that, and then ask her if she'd do a virtual party with you where you can send some samples. They could all be at her house.
Uh-huh.
And you're just on the computer at the end of the table kind of thing. Or they could all be on Zoom and you're talking to them individually, you know, in the boxes.
True. Okay.
Yeah. And then also asking her to do a Pearl Girl chat with you, whether she's interested in the opportunity or not. That's going to earn you your pearls, and you'll get to hear me share the opportunity with someone so you can learn.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's so good. Yeah, absolutely. See, the only reason she's buying from that woman is because you weren't selling Mary Kay at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And then ask her who her consultant is. I know a ton of people in Michigan.
Okay.
So I could even say, hey, Susie Q, whisper in your customer's ear, her sister's selling Mary Kay. She should buy from her, you know? Because if she actually heard it from her consultant, she wouldn't feel bad about not ordering from that person anymore.
Right.
Because I'd be the first one to tell some, oh my God, and I have. What do you mean your cousin sells Mary Kay? What do you mean your sister sells Mary Kay? You should be ordering from her. I'd be heartbroken if my cousin ordered from somebody else, you know? And I let them know it's okay to switch.
Good. Good. Well, that's all my thoughts.
Okay, well, we can wrap
That's
up
a
a little
good.
bit early.
Yeah.
Tom's cooking some chicken wings or something in the background. Something smells good. I'm ready to eat.
Very good.
Well,
Very good.
Marilyn, thank you for being on here. Those who show up go up, and I don't like to talk to myself, so I'm so glad you're here.
Well, thank you. even we've had a chance to get to know each other better.
That's right. And I'll get to see you in just a couple days live and
That's
in
true.
person at our holiday party. So I look forward to
And,
seeing you.
yeah, and me, you,
All right,
and
honey.
me,
Have a great
Tom
day.
too. You
Yeah, you
too.
get to meet Tom too. All right, honey.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.